How's it going, guys? Pixel here with a video that's slightly different than what you're used to. Today I'm going to be discussing player mentality, team mentality, and communication, and how to improve in these fields to step up your Splatoon 2 game. Let's begin. Now, let's start with player mentality. Mentality is, according to Google, the characteristic attitude of mind or way of thinking of a person or group. And honestly, it is extremely important when it comes to decision making and overall morale of your team environment. Having a positive mentality that avoids tilt, avoids negative remarks or attitudes towards your team or peers, allows you to make optimal decisions in any scenario, whether it be in a game, in person. You know, it's good to have a good mentality. Period. Now you're probably asking yourself, how does having a negative mentality prevent good decisions? Well, it's self-explanatory really, and I'll dive right into how. Morale. Team morale is what keeps the team alive. Now, if you've been in the scene long enough, teams of negative attitude-based players will eventually crumble in some form, whether that be a roster change, people getting kicked, people getting the boot, or disbanded the team entirely, the whole team getting the boot. You know, keeping team morale high is very important to your team. Negative attitude can be many things, from untrusted teammate skill in getting the job done, from self-doubt, where they're vocal about it, and what I personally like to call story time during scrims or tournaments. That's where the whole team is just like, why didn't you do that? You should have did that. I told you to do that and you didn't do it. Like the negative story where they just go on and on the whole match about why you should have did this, but you didn't do this, instead of waiting till after the game and doing it in a calm and nice manner. And my favorite, placing the blame on other teammates rather than accepting your own mistakes. This last one is extremely common, and it is very hard for most people to accept that you can and will make mistakes. Now, let me show you what a positive attitude entails. A positive attitude in a gaming environment usually has these traits. Low tilt. Tilt being when you get mad at a mistake you made, a teammate made, lag, a Yeti bashing your toe in with a tree, that's common, right? Positive reinforcement, like saying, nice kill, or congratulating your team on good plays after sets, or even during, just briefly, though if it's like during, that floods comms. Trusting teammates fully to play at their best. This is where you are 110% confident in your team's pick. You're not gonna go, I don't know if you could pick that. And I struggle with this sometimes too. We all do. We all kind of like, maybe that won't fit our comp. That's okay. That's normal. But you want to do that in a positive manner, not like make the person feel negative for their choice of weapon. And don't focus on people's mid-game mistakes. This is so common that teammates will sit there and watch what you're doing when they're tilted, and then they will blast you after the match because they were busy focusing on you instead of focusing on the game at hand. Accepting that you make mistakes and discussing the team's overall mistakes during losses rather than a single individual play is really important to keeping the negatives in check. If you keep the negatives in check, you can have a healthy team environment. And let's be honest here, it's just never fun to play on a team that is constantly spewing out constant negativity and garbage. We've all been a part of that. Just know that you and your team can change that. Let's move on to the next thing I'd like to discuss that kind of plays into this a little bit, is communication. Whether it be telling a teammate in a nice manner they made a mistake without it coming off as an attack or coming off as a jerk. Calling out without filling the voice comms of hot garbage, my favorite, or telling little Jimmy he sucks because he didn't get on the tower again. Come on, man. I say objective. Objective. Say it with me now. Sorry. Solo queue issues. You know solo queue things. Just solo queue things. Anyways, communication alongside a positive mentality is key. By communicating in a manner that gets your points across without being a negative Nancy or a finger pointy bling kind of guy or gal, things go over really smoothly. So smoothly, it's like, I can't believe it's not butter smoothly. Okay? Failure to communicate properly can also lower team morale. If you don't know how to talk to your teammates, how are you gonna know how to talk to people? Like, you gotta be able to talk to people to communicate properly. Kind of goes hand in hand. Now, in terms of in-game communication, you always want to make sure you are calling out as precisely and quickly as possible. Now, if you've ever listened to an Optic game, Team Optic and Call of Duty, I know I'm talking about Call of Duty in a Splatoon video. The worlds are colliding, trees are on fire, the world is imploding in on itself. Just hear me out. If you listen to this video I linked below, you'll notice that their callouts overlap. They have positive reinforcement, like nice job, stuff like that. And they all are calling out over top each other. This allows them all to react accordingly. The quicker your call out, the more time with someone with a low response time can react to it. Now, also a thing I noticed is a lot of teams only call out when they die. I want to pitch an idea to where we try to do active callouts, and I'm not the only person that's pitched this. A couple other top players have pitched it as well. I'm not calling myself a top player, by the way. I'm just saying they've pitched the idea of active callouts, which is the act of calling out when you see somebody all the time. You just call out constantly. You see a guy, you're talking about it. Not that one, where he's going. You don't need to say his whole life story. Just charger on snipe, moving to bunker. Example. By doing this, you always know where the enemy is, and everyone knows where the enemy is. The game moves so fast that on-def callouts are unreliable most of the time because the enemy's already at your teammate's doorstep, and they're going to give that guy the best birthday present he ever received: friendship. I'm kidding, it's Steph. Come on, seriously? Now, the big question is, how can I fix a negative mentality, Pixel? Now, honestly, I'm not the right person to ask for this. I have my moments. I'm still working on this. This is a work in progress for me as well, as a player and as a person. It's a long road. It's not like you wake up the next day and wow, my negative mentality is all suddenly fixed and patched. Like it's not going to work like that. It's never going to be that easy. So if you fit any of the negative mentality chimes, just know that you can improve your mental state. If you do not enjoy the game and are playing it solely for reasons other than enjoyment, for example, make sure to properly take a break, think about the things you do enjoy or did enjoy, and really highlight those to the front of your mind. And what that does is it prevents you from getting down on yourself and down on the game, and you'll enjoy the game again by focusing on the things you really, really love about the game, which is honestly probably why you're still playing it. If you hate something, you usually quit it. So if you truly hate something and you're still doing it, odds are you don't actually hate it. Now, if you're one of those people that are always down on yourself during matches, like, oh, I could have got that kill, I really should have did this instead of this, not only does that kind of cloud the voice comms for your teammates, it makes an awkward team environment. So what I can suggest is you focus on calling out, take a deep breath, and sometimes even say sorry after a mistake. This kind of helped me a little bit, just by apologizing for making a mistake. You don't have to say, oh, I'm sorry, I should have did it. To say, sorry I died, and then your call out. Or if you're doing active call outs, just say sorry. This active apology may kind of prevent you from tilting. Now, in terms of breaks are never bad. Don't let someone tell you if you take a break you'll get rusty. You don't. Good players do not rust. You never forget the core mechanics of a game you play for a long period of time, period. So don't stress about coming back and not being as good. Odds are you'll be fine. You'll just need a warm up and you'll be right back into the groove. And if you have a teammate who is negative, or you aren't up front entirely with your team, like you're streaming and you shut off team comms to trash talk players on your stream, you really should confront your teammates about what's bothering you in a polite and constructive manner. Just talk to them. Tell them, hey, I don't like your weapon choice. Hey, I don't like your play. This is why. In a nice way. Do it in a nice way. There are nice ways to say bad things. There is. And by bad, I mean like mistakes. You can tell someone that they made a mistake in a nice, positive way. Now, if you can't take constructive criticism, you're unfit for competitive play. This is how you learn. This is how you improve, by taking others' feedback. Now, that's not to say there isn't bad feedback, because there is totally bad feedback, and you will get some. And that is okay to not take that seriously. But my ultimate point of this short video is to let you, the player, know anything you want to change, you have the power to do so, in life and in a game. Never say never. Just, you can. You can do it. I'll be leaving some nifty links in the description below. One is a fantastic read, and I suggest you check it out. Thanks for watching, and I hope to bring more content in the future. I'm a little sick this video, so I apologize for my voice change, like the raspiness, stuff like that. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Twitter. My DMs are always open. I always reply to them. It might take me a while, but feel free to message me on Twitter at PixelatedCody. Now, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.